Okay, like a little mid-afternoon lunch sort of snack. Zucchini balls with a really yummy white sauce of some kind. Wine that only comes in a half bottle per full bottle. Nice fresh bread. Mostly bread, not so much pita bread around. And then Grat's pick, which was saganaki. Love it. Here we are in Athens, walking in the footsteps of the ancients. We've been so lucky to see so many civilizations over this trip. From the Romans in Barca to the Khmer at Angkor Wat. From the Balinese sea temples to the North Africans at Alhambra. From the devastation in Pompeii to the walls of Dubrovnik. But this week, we are at the granddaddy of them all, ancient Greece. Welcome to my channel, the home of videos for Dailycreatives.com. My name is Christine, and we are traveling the world as a digital nomad family. We have been to many amazing places from Barcelona to Bangkok, ancient ruins of Cambodia to modern Croatia. We were denied boarding, a plane bound for Cape Town, and drove a Renault Kangoo 7,000 kilometers across Europe. I have cooked meals in all sorts of kitchens and even done an Annie Sloan IKEA hack in an apartment in Hong Kong. Don't miss any of our adventure or what comes next. Head over to Dailycreatives.com. The link is in the description box below. I write new posts about 2 times per week about a variety of topics, including travel, creative ideas and projects, and observations from my life. Don't miss any of it by joining us. As a small gratitude, you will receive 2 free downloads, the World Travel Tested Packing List and Chapter 1 from Fruitless at 40. I took a course in Greek mythology in my first year of university. And I think it might have been coincidence or maybe because of the course that around that time I got interested in Greek food. And I mean big time interested. There were not a lot of options in Calgary. There was a few Greek tavernas, really old style Greek food, certainly from what we've seen since we've been here, just serving the usuals. But I mean, you couldn't even buy the basic ingredients. Hummus and tzatziki weren't available in every grocery store. And I mean, the recipes, there was no such thing as online. This is back in 1991. So my grandpa had an interest in food, so he took me around the city trying to look for a cookbook. And I finally found a Lebanese cookbook that had a recipe for hummus, which was the first recipe I had and one that I perfected over the years. And the other recipe from that cookbook was pita bread, so I eventually mastered that. And I was even so into it that I threw parties and had people at the house exposing people to Greek food. And even so far as at the end of the party, instead of to do the traditional ouzo, which was fairly common as all different kinds of alcohol were in those days, we had metaxa. So you'd have an orange wedge with coffee grounds on it, and you'd shoot that and have the chaser, kind of like a lime wedge for a tequila shot. It's crazy. When I got married in 1995, I even had a buffet, a whole long table that I envisioned was some sort of traditional Greek mezza platter concoction. There was dolmades, there was hummus, there was fish cakes, there was all kinds of Greek dishes. And my poor husband at the time, the 4 years prior that I had met him, he didn't even know what real garlic looked like. So, this was a huge departure for him to be thrown into the world of Greek food. I had all this love for Greece. Of course, I didn't have a lot of money to travel. I had no money to travel. But over the years, I had opportunities to come to Europe, and I could have tacked on some time to come over here, and I never did. And so here we are. My daughter finally, on our big trip, insisted that Greece was a place that she wanted to come to. So here we are, finally, after all these years and after my profound love of Greek culture and Greek food, I get to live it now. So our first big museum day was the Acropolis, or Acropolis Hill. Parthenon was, the big destination that we wanted to see. So we had a little hiccup, though, because the apartment that we're renting, our landlord said that there was a couple of tickets that were 5-day passes, and we could use those to get into any number of these different attractions in the city, including the Acropolis, for free. And they were worth 30 euros each. So great, we had those two, and we head on out. We do first tracks, get there really nice and early. Haley is beyond excited because this is a dream come true for her. So we get up to the window to buy tickets, and we know we only need them for the kids. And then, we don't wait too long, 10, 15 minutes, which at that time of the morning, we were surprised already. We even had to wait at all, but we heard the lineups could be hours. Anyways, we get up to the front and they say, okay, kids under 18 don't need tickets. Awesome. So they're free. So we go to present our tickets, and the woman says, you've already been here. And we had not told the kids that we had done this. And so they're like, my daughter was like, what? You've been here already? And so I said, well, yeah, we came yesterday and now we want to bring the kids. And this woman's like, yeah, you can't use them twice. And we're like, oh, okay. And in the background, Haley is just like, no. She cannot believe we've come before. And we're just trying to look at her like to give her the cue of, just be quiet, we'll explain. But no, she's just going on. So anyways, we back away. Now the line is 3 times as long, and my husband's got to get in line and buy us tickets. So I finally get the kids away out of earshot of this woman, and I'm trying to explain to them, okay, we didn't want to say what was happening in front of her because I'm sure that technically the tickets aren't transferable. So anyways, we go through the whole thing. And then Haley keeps saying to me, she's motioning you, like she's saying, come here. So the woman felt, I guess, kind of bad for us because Haley was just like, could not believe that we had gone to the Acropolis without her. So finally she says, okay, I'll let you guys use those tickets again. We'll just scan them, and you guys can go in. So we get Grant out of line and we basically get into Acropolis Hill for free. We entered on the south side, first coming across the theater of Dionysus, god of plays and wine. This venue could seat as many as 17,000 people with excellent acoustics. Then, rounding the northwest corner, is the Temple of Athena Nike, standing just before the Propylaea, or the entrance, where through this gateway to the Acropolis, we finally get our first glimpse of the mighty Parthenon. While it is in rough shape today, it is still a sight to behold. The scale is stupendous, and to imagine it fully completed with all the adornments in place, it is truly remarkable. To the left of the Parthenon is the Requiem, a temple dedicated to Athena and Poseidon. It was getting warm, reminding us of our days of temple going in Cambodia, but we had made an early start. As we headed back down the hill, the gathering crowds and lineups were becoming pretty massive. We beat the heat and the people to the Acropolis Museum, where various priceless artifacts from the Acropolis Hill are exhibited. Much of what is still on site are casts of the originals in order to prevent any further erosion by being left in the elements. The top floor of the museum is a full scale of the Parthenon with all the pieces which the Acropolis Museum is in possession of. Today, various museums around the world have come to own pieces of the Parthenon, which were taken off-site over the years. Efforts continue to have these missing treasures returned to Greece. I think it is amazing to think of the ancient Athenians who would labor over all the political decisions of the day. Participation in the political process in those days wasn't really an option. I mean, if you didn't participate and you were eligible, of course, women were not, you were considered to be, they even used the word idiot or idiocracy or something like that. So it's so different than today. There was debates on a regular basis, and all these citizens, up to 5,000 would be participating, and a certain number would be allowed to speak, and everyone would be able to cast a vote, and decisions would be taken. There would be symposiums in the evening hours where men would be drinking and talking until the wee hours of the morning, discussing all the events of the day. And so everyone was pretty well informed, it sounds like. Like Rome and Istanbul, Athens is full of treasures as you walk down the streets. The ruins are present everywhere. The city has grown up around them and in between them and sort of in spite of them. So there's an effort to preserve some of the bigger, more important ones, but then the other ones are just left alone. It is so awe-inspiring to walk in the footsteps of history. This is something we just don't get in Canada, where I come from. And then amazing old buildings that are just left to decay. I have enjoyed everything about Athens, from the fascinating ruins to the excitable people to the amazing food. My expectations have more than been met. Just randomly walking down the street one day, that's a yarn shop. So I even found a 80-year-old business where the yarn shop was in that guy's family that entire time. I bought some lovely yarn, had an amazing conversation with this man, lovely man, about our trip, and he quizzed my son and I about all kinds of what was our most favorite, what was most difficult, what was most fun, all that kind of thing. And he basically said, you've given each other and your kids a treasure that they probably can't even comprehend at this moment. Oh, the lure of the sunshine. I can't help but open these windows for the view out towards Athens and the sunshine. Even though I know it's so warm out today and it's going to be so hot for having opened these windows, I just can't help it. I hope you enjoyed the view from week 41 in Athens. Thanks for watching, and check out the links below the video. I always try to give a bunch of important information to learn more about where we have been and what we are up to. We are splitting up next week. Fisher's going on to Barcelona to have some fun with a friend that he met when we lived there, and I'm heading to Stockholm to hang out with my girls. And by the way, don't forget to head over to the Nimbus Mix Contest and vote for Fisher. So this weekend, while he's hanging out with his friend, they're going to be making music and having lots of fun as music producer, creative types that they are. All the while, this is leading up to the fact that when he's done high school, he wants to go to that school. And so a scholarship would be very, very nice.